radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Well, Fade to Black. How you doing? Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. I am your host, Jimmy Church. You know what I'm going to say. Let's do this, man. Yeah, we've got a short week this week on Fade to Black. Last night we had Robert Sullivan on the show talking about occult symbolism. Tonight, it's our once a month AMA-AJA where you get to ask me anything. Please post your questions in all caps over in the live chat. Tomorrow night, Mike Ricksecker is with us, Stargates and Atlantis. And then Thursday night, we are off air because I am off taping some more episodes of Beyond Belief over at Gaia. Very exciting week. So yeah, we're going to be doing this from time to time for the rest of the year, and where we will be cutting 1 week short for Beyond Belief. But that's just the life that I chose. So you kind of have to put up with it. You do. All right. Now, I have one major event coming up in a couple of short weeks, and it is the PSI Games. I am hosting the Psychic Olympics, and this is August 1st through the 3rd, 2025 in Charlottesville, Virginia. The links for that event are below. Speakers, schedule, the venue, everything that you need is right there. The links are below over on our website and throughout social media. So I'll see everybody out there on the East Coast in a couple of weeks. All right. Now, tonight is our AMA, and you know how to do it and what to do. Please post your question in all caps over in the live chat. I will get to everything that I can tonight. And I'm kind of thinking, we'll see how it goes, but I'm kind of thinking it's my show. I can do what I want. I'm kind of thinking about going commercial free tonight. What do you guys think about that? Yeah. You guys want to go commercial free? I'm always excited. This is honestly my favorite night of the month. All right. Now to kick things off tonight, I've got Dan Harary with us, and he's here to make a couple of special announcements, and we're going to talk about a film that he has just released and produced, and the wow signal. I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black, Dan Harary. He's right there. Dan, good evening, young man.
I'm not so young. I just turned 69 the other day. How dare you?
Well, we're the same age, and we both have electronic drums. So yeah, there you go. Right
there you go. Yeah. And we both saw Giorgio in 2007.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
it's
so crazy.
A small world, man. It's a small world.
That's crazy.
Dan, you're a busy man. I appreciate you taking the time to come in really quick to kick off the show tonight to talk about these two special announcements. And I do want to start, if I can, let's start with the wow signal.
Sure.
What is it? And we've got the links up, and moderators, go ahead and repost everything again. But what is the wow signal, Dan?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me back. I appreciate it. Jimmy, as you know, I've been a Hollywood publicist for, over 40 years. So I got deeply entrenched into ufology really 2 years ago when my book After They Came was published, and I befriended Stephen Bassett, and he and I created the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. It's just 2 years. And I would have lunch with Stephen quite often, and I'd say, where do people go, Stephen, in your world? Where do you and Paul Hynek and Danny Sheehan and George Noor, where do you all go to get your news from the global world of ufology? And he said, there really isn't one dedicated news source. Of course, there's the New York Times once in a blue moon, or the debrief, your website, George Nori. I mean, there's different places, but there isn't one cohesive destination, Jimmy, that I saw. Okay. So as a publicist over 41 years, my thing is, how do I get news and information to the world? That's what I've been doing this for a living my whole entire life. So I came up 2 years ago. I had the idea, I'm going to create a website, a dedicated news resource. It'll be open to everyone on the planet Earth. And I launched it in March. My daughter's a very talented graphic artist, so she did the logo and she did the website. It's called thewowsignal.news. Thewowsignal.news. We have press releases, photos, articles, comedy pieces, guest opinions from major ufologists from all over the world. We're only 4 months old, and it's been something of a phenomenon, Jimmy. It's really already exceeded my wildest dreams. We have media partnerships with MUFON and a group called the People's Disclosure Movement up in the Bay Area. Steve Bassett's group, PRG, is part of it. The International UFO Bureau is part of it. Shirley MacLaine is part of it. What I'm doing is I'm sort of curating a virtual group of newsmakers, and I'd love to include you, Jimmy, anytime, man. If you have a press release, you have news about your events, if you ever want to write a guest opinion on the Roswell anniversary, What I Think by Jimmy Church, anything like that, I will run it on the Wow Signal. Every Monday, we have brand new news on the homepage, brand new news every Monday. And then every Thursday of the same week, we then call that news into a newsletter. MUFON and I send it out all over the world, Jimmy. We have over 700,000 emails, which is pretty good in 4 months. I'm shooting for 1 million, and I get emails from all over the world. Thank you for the Wow Signal. Thank you for giving us a destination and a news source. We have, we have guest opinions. I just ran a story for Danny Sheehan this week. I've run stories for Nick Pope and Paul Hynek and HDA, of course, and everybody else. So it's something that I had in my head for 2 years. We just gave birth to it, the wowsignal.news. Please to tell all your viewers and all your followers, go there. You can subscribe and get the newsletter for free. You can input your news there and send me photos and funny things, and I'll post them. And I think it's been very cool. I've been very blessed that it took off so nicely.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. You've got stuff by Stephen Bassett. You've got Casas Macraeus here, and Ron James and Lisa Strickland. And this is pretty comprehensive, and it's all in one place. So everybody, it is the wowsignal.news. We've got it up in the chat, and everybody go and check it out and make this your daily stop by to see everything up to date in our UFO, and some people say UAP. I can't wait for that to go away, by the way.
Yeah,
but
our
UFO community. Well, UAP, I don't want to say it's passe, but I'm trying to make it passe. But there it is, the Wow Signal News. And the next announcement for you is this documentary, and it is called Inside Hollywood. Now, we've got the links up again in the chat for this, but tell us about the documentary. Okay,
thank you very much once again. So Stephen Bassett and I created the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance exactly 2 years ago. HollywoodDisclosureAlliance.org. It's a networking group of two disparate groups historically. One group are UAP, UFO, ET experiencers, researchers, and disclosure advocates. The other half, Jimmy, what's different is Hollywood writers, producers, directors, documentarians, podcasters, radio show hosts. And I've been wanting to ask you for 2 years, and I still don't know why you're not a member, man. I'm gonna make you a member if it's the last thing I ever do. All I need is your bio and your photo, brother. It's all
we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Okay, I need you. Okay, so that's what it is. A few months ago, you had Steve Bassett and I co-created this 2 years ago. You had Stephen on a few months ago, Jimmy, and you asked him if there were any results or projects. Stephen didn't know the answer to that question, but I do. I made a list. There are a few we only launched a year and a half ago. There are a few projects that have mixed and matched and blended in together through Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. One is a TV series called Shadow State. It's being pitched around Hollywood now. They call it Jason Bourne Meets the X-Files. Two different projects for the 1933 Magenta, Italy UFO crash. Two different projects. One's a documentary, one's a TV series scripted. I put all those people together through HDA. So that's two projects there. Ron James became friends, and you probably are friends with him now. Are you friends with Thomas Jane?
Oh, I've known Thomas for over 20 years.
Oh my guys, I didn't know that at all. So Thomas Jane and Ron James are working together on Accidental Truth Next, Ron's next film. I'm pitching my book After They Came as a 3-part TV series. I have an agent and some producers through HDA. And then, of course, the HDA documentary itself. So in a year and a half, some things are starting to percolate. Groups of experiencers are bonding and networking with Hollywood producers and writers in a few ways. One is we have a live chat room. It's called Slack. You know, a Slack channel? You've heard of a Slack channel. We have a 24/7 Slack channel. Many of our members are in there. We're up to 220 members, by the way. And they talk to each other. Someone will say, hey, I have a script. I'm looking for women who have been abducted and have had given birth to hybrid offspring. Well, there's 3 women I know right off the bat that would apply to that. Sean West is an agent. He puts, hey, Ancient Aliens is casting. We're looking for people who were related to someone at Roswell. So people mix and match. It's an interesting thing. It's a baby. It's really a baby, HDA. The documentary that you are in, my friend, Inside Hollywood, Aliens, UFOs, and the Quest for Disclosure. It came out. I premiered it June 2nd at Contact in the Desert. It's brand new. It's on YouTube. It's being hosted by a film company called J. Horton Films. J. Horton Films on YouTube has the documentary. We have Danny Sheehan, Steve Bassett, Linda Moulton Howe, Britt Elders, Ron James, Ron Janix, Paul Hynek, Bob Salas, Michael Schratt. It's really, you saw it, and I appreciate that you saw it. We have like a who's who. And what they're saying, Jimmy, is historically, Hollywood has always been kind of conflicted with the UAP ET issue. Most of the major films since the 40s, most of them are aliens are coming to kill us and eat us. Most of them. War of the Worlds, Independence Day, the famous Twilight Zone episode, my favorite one, called To Serve Man. When they come, remember, don't get on the ship. It's a cookbook. Remember that one? So great.
Oh, I do.
There's only been a handful of benevolent alien films. E.T., Close Encounters, Arrival, Contact, Starman. There are a handful of others. There's only a few. So we are trying to HDA is trying to generate the next era of feature films, documentaries, and TV shows based on the real life experiences of real life people, good, bad, or ugly. I have a friend who's friends with Pleiadian, beautiful Pleiadian extraterrestrials. They have been helping him in his business. He's a millionaire today. I have female friends who've been abducted, impregnated, and had their hybrid children taken from them. So, good, bad, and ugly. There's all kinds of different extraterrestrials that are visiting us. There are a million stories to be told. They're not been told yet. And my goal through Hollywood Disclosure Alliance is to help get those stories out there to people who have the ability to bring a story to a screen. And that's really quite simple.
Yeah, and Dan, just thank you for everything that you're doing. We've got the links up not only to the documentary, which is called Inside Hollywood, and you can watch that right now on YouTube. We've got that up in the chat, but we've got the Wild Signal, and we also have HDA, and so it's a one-stop shop for everything in our community. And just thank you, Dan, for doing this for us. You are of service to others, and we really appreciate that, and we thank you, man. Thank you so much.
That's very sweet. Thank you very much. And my book, After They Came, just came out on audiobook the other day on Amazon. Thanks, Jim.
And that's on Amazon. Okay. Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, the audio version, I'm going to listen to that tonight.
Yeah. Took me a year and a half to record it. It took me forever.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
not easy, is it?
I
It's
know
not
it's
easy.
hard. It's hard work. I admire people like you that make a living with your voice. I really, until you read your own 350-page book, you don't realize what hard work that is.
Man, no, I'm going to have somebody else read my book. I'm going to make you read it. I'll talk to you, Dan.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dan Harary, everybody, the Hollywood Disclosure Alliance. And yes, the Wow Signal, News. We've got the links up for that. Of course, the documentary and the new audio book. Thank you so much, Dan. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our once a month AMAAJA, where you get to ask me anything. And so let's just get it started. And I just mentioned, again, thank you, Dan. Maybe we should go commercial free. As we go through the questions tonight and I read through everything, I'll see if you guys want me to go commercial free. I like a commercial to break things up in the middle so I can kind of reset and get my head together. But some nights I'm just in the flow with all of you. So there you go. All right. So with that, I want to mention a couple of things, and maybe this will steer some questions in that direction. I haven't looked yet through the questions. Saturday was Black Sabbath's last show. And I was just texting with a friend of mine, Jimmy Brune, back in Indianapolis. Jimmy was the singer in our high school band. He's just amazing. I posted videos of him. Anyway, Black Sabbath and my friends that I grew up with in junior high and high school, Black Sabbath was it for us. Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, right? And so for all of us, my friends were texting me all day long. My friends from high school and junior high texted me all day long. What do you think this is amazing? And it was wow, right? And there's so many emotions and so many things to comment on. So what did you think of that? And post your questions. I've got a lot of thoughts on it. It was an extraordinary day. That was heavy metal stardom that was up there thanking Black Sabbath all day long. And the performances were all incredible. And I had a lot of friends that were on that stage. And some of them have been guests on Fade to Black too as well. And so it was special for me. So I'd like to talk about that tonight. What did you guys think of that? And I did want to mention a couple of things really quick. After the show tonight, Wes Anderson's new film, The Phoenician Scheme, is now out on streaming. I've been waiting for this film. Wes Anderson, I talk about him all the time. One of my favorite directors, one of the great directors of our generation. When he has a new film come out, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and especially for all of those Wes Anderson fans. So I'm going to be watching The Phoenician Scheme tonight after the show. And I can't tell you how excited I am. It's already purchased. It's just sitting there and waiting. So think about that as I'm rolling through the show tonight. And I love hanging out with all of you, but I've got Wes Anderson on the back end of this. So pretty excited about that. Also, a couple of TV shows I wanted to mention really quick. This is AMA. We're just hanging out. There's speaking of Wes Anderson, there's a series out right now. It's called Stick, and it's a golf series. It's a comedy series. And it's on Apple TV. Go and check it out. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. It's called Stick. And I'm sucked into that. Also, of course, I'm knee deep into Resident Alien right now. Very excited about that. And so if you've got any questions about that, and if you haven't seen Stick, go and check it out. But of course, Resident Alien. So with all of that, that's kind of the setup for everything tonight. Let's get to the questions. And up first, as always, it's Renee. There she is. What's your favorite thing? Oh yeah, I already answered this. I was joking. What is your favorite thing about filming your episodes of Beyond Belief so far? That's a great question. And I'm obviously going back and shooting more episodes this week. I've shot 4. I've got 4 in the can. And I'll be doing this, every month, like forever after this. What is amazing about it? All right, I'm going to give you my personal take. It's that to have an offer come across the table to do something like this. I'm just telling you, for me personally, it's like I sit back and go, how did I get here? How is this happening? Because it is a huge honor and it's a huge privilege. Here's the best, but so there's that, right? It's crazy for sure, right? Okay, but there's a lot of pressure with a situation like this. There is, if you give yourself the pressure. But here's the truth. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've got thousands of shows under my belt. I've got a lot of practice, and this is dress rehearsal, right? For this kind of moment. And so going in and sitting in that chair on that set with that kind of team that is around me, it is so comfortable, and the pressure's gone. I don't feel it because I've been preparing for this for a long time, and it's very natural for me, and I'm very comfortable. And so for me, it's fun. If I wasn't prepared, if I wasn't ready for this or anything else, you can give into the pressure, and the next thing you know, things can unravel. But that's not the case with this. I'm very happy. I'm very prepared, and I'm ready to go. And I have an amazing team around me to make sure that everything is the absolute very best. And so that takes a lot of the pressure off. And I got to tell you, for me, when you wrap show after show after show like that, you just go, wow, that was fun. There's not a need for me to feel uncomfortable or to trip out or to do. No, it is, it's absolutely amazing. And that's the best part. That's my favorite thing about it, is that for me, I'm just the right person at the right time in the right place to do something like this. And there you go. So that's my favorite part about doing the show. That's a great question, though. And maybe my opinion will change as we move on. But yeah. The company, I was told today, now I'll just let it go. The response has been very, 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 very positive out there with the audience and the community. So I'm very thankful for that. All right. Okay. Great question, Renee. And a great way to start off the show. Let's see. I'm not reading these in advance. Let's just go. It's from Genocide. Jimmy, who do you think Sharon Osbourne kicked off? Okay, John. Kicked off from Back to the Beginning, which meant I think that this is social media creating drama. Maybe she did. I don't know. But okay. Because I mean, back to back. Who could you have squeezed in? Or who would you have bumped off of the lineup from Saturday to get another act in? You only have, I think everybody had 30 minutes or 3 songs or whatever it was, 4 songs each, and the stage is rotating, and you're just one act after another. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody was actually kicked off because it was so packed, but maybe something happened. I don't know. But I can tell you who I missed, and that was Brad Gillis. You know, you had Rudy Sarzo there, you had Jakey Lee there, you had Zach Wild there. You know, all of I think Mike Inez was there. You know, so you had most of Ozzy's solo musicians were there, but no Brad Gillis. And Brad Gillis came in after Randy Rhoads passed away and recorded the album Speak of the Devil and filled some very big shoes and did a great job, and also made Brad Gillis's career. And after that, Night Ranger would not have had the success that it had if Brad hadn't played with Ozzy Osbourne. And it was kind of weird to not have Brad Gillis there. So I don't know if there's something else going on with that. I don't know. But I just found that strange. And I don't know what you guys think about that. But Brad Gillis deserved to be on that stage for sure. So, yeah. Anything else? That's all rumors, but still a great question, Genocide. Okay. Let's see. Nemo's Odyssey. Did you see the secret UFO landing spot where the beings come off the ship and speak to you while in Peru? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm on a Space Brothers kick lately. Yeah. Great question. No, we didn't do that. We ended up having a very, very, very busy time in Peru because we had Inti Raimi in the middle of the tour. We went to Sacsayhuaman twice, first at the beginning and the second for the winter solstice celebration, which was absolutely incredible. But that kind of tipped everything over, and we were just absolutely slammed and busy with the tour group to get everything in. And so Wilco is going to take me up there. Wilco is our shaman down there. And he's the one that told me about this secret spot where his shaman brothers get together and have visitations with these craft that come in and contact. I didn't get it done. We just didn't have the time on this trip. But I'll be back in Peru 2 more times next year in 2026. And we will do that. All right. All right. Another great question. All right. Let's see. Carl. How you doing, Carl? Jimmy, do you know if there has been any UFO sightings during fireworks celebrations? Okay. Now, that's a great question because I have heard of things in and around fireworks celebrations. Yes, I have over the years. I had a friend on July 4th send me a video of driving home. This was in the Wisconsin, Chicago area, driving home after a fireworks celebration. And then right there in the sky, just cruising along, was an orange orb. And the video is nuts. And it was shot after fireworks on July 4th, driving home. Now, so I know my first thought was, well, okay, it's after a fireworks show. This is probably fireworks. And then I'm watching the video. And this orange orb is just cruising along in the pretty big, actually, off in the distance. It's an incredible shot. Connected? Well, it's July 4th, and it was after a fireworks celebration right there. And the video is absolutely incredible. I'll see if I can get permission to show the video and and I'll play it for everybody because it's really cool. All right, Nancy G. Jimmy, what happened to Billy Carson? Haven't heard anything about him in a long time. Oh, okay. Well, Billy's still doing his thing. Been texting with him and stuff. Yeah, he after that snafu with the Christian community, that was a pretty strange thing on both sides. And it that's a lesson, that's a tough lesson to learn, not only for Billy, but also for the Christian side of things, and how you handle situations like that. That was pretty tough. And probably, I can't speak for Billy, and I won't speak for Billy, but after something like that, and I have seen this happen to so many members of this community, where you get attacked. And when you do, especially after a career of not having that happen, when it does happen, it's hard to figure out how to react. And one of the common emotional things to do, and this goes with anybody, but in the UFO community and the Christian community too, as well, religious community, when that stuff starts coming down, you just want to retreat. It's like, man, am I doing the right thing? I thought everybody appreciated what I was doing. If this is how it's going to be, I'm out. That's one reaction I've seen so many of people that I know and researchers and things, where when that starts to happen, it's tough. I don't know when this started, but there used to be respect and communication. That you were taught that from when you were an infant, how to respect people, how to speak to people, your elders, and and just absolute respect. And for some reason, when Facebook started and whatever, MySpace, or these different social media platforms, where suddenly it was just okay to be a dick and just to attack and be when I just don't get it. And suddenly this is now the norm. And people wonder, although, what's going on with society? Why is everybody like this? You know what? Think about this permission system where suddenly it's okay to act and say these things and to go on the attack and to be vicious, when and some of these people I know personally, where they would never do this in public, but suddenly a keyboard or a cell phone gives you the right to go off the rails and go after somebody and ruin somebody, just to throw them off track and throw them off their game and to throw their day off and just ruin their thought process. It's incredible to me. It's incredible, which is why I don't participate on social media. I don't read comments. I just don't. I don't reply. I don't post. I don't feed. I just don't do it. And I am better off. I have friends. I have friends that I've known for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that I watch their posts. I mean, I've been roommates with that I know, and I read their posts. I'm like, where is this coming from? Who are you? And I'll go and see them in public, they're back to normal, right? That's the normal person. But man, on social media, I have them blocked, friends, but when I see this stuff, I'm blown away. It's like, what? Wow. Holy crap. And there's this permission system where now it's okay to act like that and to say things and to go after people and to go after groups. When it used to be, here's the thing. It used to be, and it's not that way anymore. It used to be being different was cool. Being different from somebody else, doing your own thing, listening to your own, just doing it was the way. That's what this country was built on. Now, though, whatever it is, if something is not like you, it's wrong and you're going to go on the attack. When did that start? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Being different is the best. That's it. I don't know why. I just don't know why. I don't know when it started, and I don't know. I don't know. I could do a whole show on just that. I'm in a weird way. I'm talking about people being angry, and that is making me angry. And I don't do negativity, but wow. And when I was a kid, I never wanted to have the same shoes as somebody else, or the same pants, or the same haircut, or the same bike, or the same thing, I was always against the grain. And so were my friends. We all had our own little things. And I loved that. And today that's not okay. It's like everybody's got to be the same. And if they're not just like you, one last comment on this. How to offend everybody. Well, I'm going to offend some people right now, especially those that are listening to this show for the first time. Social media algorithms have got you figured out. They've got you figured out and understand you more than your family, your wife, your husband, your kids, your mother, your father, your pets, or any of your friends. They've got you completely figured out. Those algorithms feed you stuff. All right? Whatever your world is. Now, let's say your world is collecting bottle caps. That's your world. Your feed is bottle caps. It's popping up. It's videos. It's this. It's reels. It's that. It's news. It's advertising. It's bottle caps. And you think that the rest of the world is bottle caps because your bubble is bottle caps. But the person to your left and the person to your right, they're into what they're into. They're into flip-flops, and this person is into life after death. And this person is into LeBron James and the NBA. And this person is into NASCAR. And this person is into pugs and French poodles or whatever. And that's their bubble. And so whatever is getting them angst or angry in that bubble, religion, left, right, politics, whatever it is, you think that everybody else is thinking just like you. And here's the surprise. They are not. Whatever's making you angry, I can tell you right now, they know nothing about it. Nothing. They don't. And you're driving around, you're angry, right? You're the only person like that. If somebody else is upset, they're upset because of French poodle pedicures. They're not upset over bottle cap restrictions on the beaches in your neighborhood. I don't know. But that's the bubble. Algorithms have got you figured out. And that is dictating so much of this flame out and this red pilling and everything that is going on, because I've got friends that close friends that are posting this redunculous stuff, right? And I'm just like, where did you hear this? And I mean, pissed off, angry, and I'm reading it, and I'm just like, that is stupid. What? Yeah, it's amazing to me. And think about that. The social media algorithms have got you figured out. Okay, Outcast Jeff. Jimmy, do you own a firearm living by yourself? Well, Outcast Jeff, you don't want to find out. Yeah, I don't like talking about that stuff. But, and so just by saying that, I think you know. And I'm going to leave that right there. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm safe. I feel safe. All right. MWL, do the locals in Peru believe in aliens? They do, especially when it comes to the Nazca lines. Absolutely. Giant stairs. Yes. H blocks and Machu Picchu. Yes, and yes, the MWL. There is a 100% bona fide culture that goes back thousands of years in Peru, based on ET contact. 100%. That's it. It is a belief system that is in place. You can have conversations with anybody from Peru about ET in any location, about any subject, anywhere, all the time. And it's one of my favorite parts about going to Peru is that I posted so many pictures and things. I showed you the alien ice cream along the highway that went on for miles, and this idea, the Peruvian mummies, the elongated skulls, not only that, but the megalithic structures and culture and the astronomy and the things that are tied to that and the cosmos, that the questions of ET and contact are all there, and it's just part of their history. So yes, it's everywhere. It is one of the most wonderful parts about going to Peru. All right. Roger White says, any thoughts of the Interstellar? Yeah. Atlas. They announced July 4th. Okay. So this is crazy. This is our third that we know of, third interstellar object that has entered our star system from deep space, interstellar space. It is heading towards us at around, I don't have the exact number in front of me, but 150,000 miles per hour. All right. It's ripping towards us, heading towards our sun. Reminds me of the movie Don't Look Up. That's right. If you look at the images of this object, which now they're saying is a comet, which again is Don't Look Up. You look at the images that have been posted so far of this, it looks exactly like the first images that were detected in the movie Don't Look Up. Headed towards our sun at 150,000 miles per hour. I will, as we get closer to dates when this object is hopefully just going to blow past us. Don't Look Up had a different ending, and I'm not going there just yet, but very intriguing. All right, now they say it's not an asteroid, that it is a comet, and there you go, 150,000 miles per hour. They've backed it up. They've had a couple of ideas of an origin for this. Nothing concrete or finalized there, but it is pretty exciting. The third interstellar object in modern history to enter our star system, and it is headed straight towards us. It's called 3I Atlas. And if you don't know about it, I've been talking about it a lot. If you don't know about it, go and look it up. 3I Atlas, 150,000 miles per hour heading in our direction. Yeah, pretty incredible. All right, let's see. Hides and long grass. When is Jimmy going to Skinwalker Ranch? I don't have plans right now. But the invitation is there. I do want to get up there in 2026. 2025, everybody is shot out for me with Beyond Belief and everything else. Just trying to get settled in to a schedule heading towards December, the end of this year, and getting settled in and having everything done. So then I can take a look at 2026. But yeah, because already in 2026, I'm going to go to Easter Island. I'm going to do that for sure. Of course, I have Contact in the Desert, and I have the Conscious Life Expo and a couple of other things, plus Beyond Belief, plus this show, and also Peru. And I might have Iceland slated as a trip too as well. And plus, I would like to get to New Zealand and Australia next year, but I would like to squeeze in Skinwalker Ranch. Yep. Thank you for that. Let's see. Angel Watcher, Jimmy, you want to come and see my orbs? I am friends with Chris Bledsoe. Where do you live? Shoot me an email, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I would love to come and see your orbs. Man, that's just insert joke there. Anybody can go ahead and do that. But yeah, send me your info. Where do you live? I'd like to check that out. From your AMA May 28th response, did you ever get to ask Paul Hynek about the Betz ball? No, I did not. Did his dad ever talk about it? Had memories seeing it around the house. It looks to be a Betz ball. The Betz ball was swapped. Interesting. Well, no, I haven't. You know what? I'm going to call Paul tomorrow. I'm going to be out of town this week, but I'm going to call Paul tomorrow. I'm going to find out about that. I will definitely get to the bottom of that. That's one of is. See, here's the thing with that, because right now we have the Boogosphere, and are they similar? Yeah, they kind of are. Almost the same size too, as well. Very, very similar. Now we have a second Boogosphere as well, but this isn't the first time. I mean, we have the Betz ball, but the amount of video and images and eyewitness testimony over the years about small metallic balls in the sky. I remember posting a picture that was taken in somebody's backyard in, I think it was Alhambra, just south of Pasadena. And that was about 10 years ago. That was a very, very interesting image that 100% reminds me of the Boogosphere. And that was in Alhambra. So yeah, I'll reach out to Paul tomorrow and see what he has to say about that. All right, so here we go. Who is up next? Android Paranormal. Is the government attempting to convince the UFO community that the 2004 Tic Tac was Lockheed? Yeah. To try and squash the disclosure movement. How can Cigar Craft be Lockheed for 70 plus years? Okay, I think that question, not only is that legit and an important point, I kind of brought that up. Wasn't the first to do this, by the way, but when I talked to different people on this broadcast and otherwise about the possibility of some secret project, experimental project, being tested with the carrier group. Is that possible? The military's done that so many times over the years, it's ridiculous. But everybody squashed that idea, and I thought to myself, I would love for it to be alien for sure, but I mean, is it possible that some of the stuff, including the Tic Tac, could be Lockheed or General Electric or these different companies that are building stuff and testing stuff, DARPA? Is it possible that is the case? And I got shot down for even thinking those thoughts. I live next to Skunk Works. Okay. I've seen lots of stuff. I've talked about some of it. And the idea is there. I don't think that there is any doubt. I mean, it's like fact that Lockheed and other companies are successfully testing and flying stuff that they have been working on for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And which goes back to all of the anti-gravitic and gravity testing and ideas from the 1950s and 1960s. And so here we are in 2025. Is some of this technology now operational? I mean, stuff that when we're working on stuff that is 30 years off into the future. And that's where we are today. And so when you look at something like the F-117 bomber, when that came out, it was like the craziest stealth fighter thing that we had ever seen. Right? Well, that had been in development for a long, long time, going back to the 1960s. That didn't just get onto the drawing board and get designed and built and flown in a couple of years. No, that was a long process to get that out. So if that happened, when was the Gulf War, when that was first flown, 1991 or whenever that was? That was 35 years ago. So what is out there now? Now, 2004, okay, that was 20 years ago. What could be flown today and what is out there? I can only tell you that I've seen stuff that is pretty crazy with my own eyes right here over the desert that I defies explanation. And I don't know what it is, and I don't want to comment on it either. But is it possible that something like this could be there? Yes. All right. Was the Tic Tac is everything that David Fravor and others talked about with the Nimitz encounter. Is there anything that stands out as it being not of this earth? Yeah, a lot. They hadn't seen or witnessed anything like that before. But let's say if we rock this back to 1990 and David Fravor saw the stealth fighter fly over his plane for the first time and didn't know anything about it, what would be said about that? I remember the first time I saw the B-2 bomber, 1994, 1993. And I was with a friend of mine, Dan Tynan. We were driving out here from LA to go to a school district to do a presentation for their music department, for our gear, for their music department. It was a school district out here. We're driving on the 14 freeway right over here at B2, right over our car. I was driving low, 100 feet. I couldn't believe it. I saw the whole thing, and I didn't even know it existed. I could not believe what I saw that day. Well, yeah, is it possible that Skunk Works could have something like that developed? Yes, 100%. And it could be reverse engineered alien technology too, as well. I don't know. But the chatter is out there right now. All right, moving on. Oh, we're going to go commercial free tonight, right? Is that what we're doing? Because normally I would bust a commercial right here. Let's see who is next, man. There's this chat room is out of control. All right, this is from Tim. Tim says, Jimmy, did you start watching Skinwalker Ranch season 6? I haven't started watching it yet. It's in the queue though. It's in the queue. Yeah, everybody's really enjoying it. I've been watching some highlights from a couple of episodes, but I'm going to hold off until most of the season is done so I can watch everything back to back. But yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show. Something's going on out there for sure. Jessica Rodriguez, how you doing, Jessica? Did you visit any sites in Peru that not many people have been to? Any ancient wisdom you can share with us? Wow. I gotta say, one of my favorite sites in Peru is a place called Naupa Iglesia. It's a cave in this canyon of, by the way, red granite mountains. It's incredible. Ancient megalithic cave that is a hike to get up there to it. It's a lot of work. It's off the beaten path, and it's not a tourist destination. That's pretty incredible. There is something about it when you go up there and you see it's so spiritual, such a powerful place. But the way that it's carved out of this black granite and basalt and red granite, it's absolutely incredible. Now, the story behind this particular location is that now the cave itself is walled off. Only the front part of the cave is there. You can't go. There's no access to the back of the cave. But the story is in the back that it's open to the peak of the mountain. That some type of energy vortex is there, and it goes all the way up to the top of the mountain. I haven't seen that. There's no access to the back half of the cave. Oh. So this happened at Naupa. Let me share this experience with you, Jessica. We are doing a ceremony with Wilco, and this family is sitting in the 3 portal chairs, and we're doing this ceremony, and we're in this meditation setup, and it's incredible. My eyes are closed, and in this moment of silence, I heard from in back of me, it's bricked in, it's walled, these rock, you can't get to the back half of the cave. But I heard from behind me, I'm not kidding, child laughter, like kids playing, and it was loud. And I open my eyes and I turn around, and I am expecting somebody to be coming out of the cave and over the wall that is behind us. It's a bricked in wall to stop access. But and I turned around and I looked right there. Everybody else is still meditating, but I popped out of the meditation because of what I heard. So I was talking with somebody there, and I had turned, and after the meditation and people pop out of it, I said, man, did any of you hear kids laughing? No. what? And then somebody came up to me and said, I heard it. I heard the children laughing. And I opened my eyes. And so only two of us heard it. And it was distinct, like loud and real, mind blowing. And nobody else heard it. I don't know. One other person did hear it. But yeah, that's Naupa. It's incredible. You can look it up. I've showed lots of pictures of Naupa over the last couple of years, but it's absolutely incredible. All right. I need some more coffee, so I'm going to go and do that. This is Fade to Black. Tonight's our AMA. Ask me anything. So we will continue after this short break. Stay with us.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get your alerts and access to over 2,000 videos. Click that subscribe button right now. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and get the Fade to Black official podcast. 2,000 episodes, all of them commercial free for just $2 a month. Watch Into the Vortex on Gaia TV. It's Fade to Black for the screen. Simple to do. Go to Gaia.com, search Jimmy Church, or click on the link below. Follow Fade to Black on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Get all of the show updates every single day. It's now called X, but who cares? How you doing? Jimmy Church here. Special announcement. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. That's right. Help support the show. Help support everything that we do over here. We've got 2 T-shirts. We've got 2 ways to get them. Get your Fade to Black T-shirt today. Go Backley Tappy. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and become a Fadernaut. Get a membership. That's right. Everything is commercial free. You have access to downloads, and you get to call yourself a Fadernaut.
Jimmy Church, Gaia TV, Fade to Black, here at Machu Picchu with Brian Forster and Hidden Inca Tours. Amazing tour so far, Brian, but we're here to announce what we're going to do next year in 2026. What's going on?
Okay, November 2026, we're going to have our major tour of Peru and Bolivia, either a pre or post tour of Paracas and Nazca on the coast. And then after that, 6 days in Easter Island.
Bucket list, Easter Island. Come join Brian and I and his amazing team here at Hidden Inca Tours for Peru, Bolivia, and Easter Island. Signing out. Say goodbye, Brian.
Bye, gang.
River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com.
All right. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our once a month AMA, AJA, where you get to ask me anything post your questions in all caps in the live chat. Let's get straight back to it. And here we go. Louisville Charlie says, who do you think the band is that Sharon disinvited? I don't know. If somebody was disinvited, don't you think that band would have said something by now? I don't know. So there you go. I don't know. Julie Rios, Julie, did you learn any interesting woo stories in Peru? For me, I did this for the third time in Peru. The mummy, Waiki, the little alien mummy that I've shown many times on Fade to Black. But hanging out there again and showing Waiki to everybody, but also listening to the information behind Waiki. And I posted once again, this may be the most direct evidence that we have of ET visiting this planet. That mummy is absolutely incredible. And I love woo. I love going into the woo verse, for sure, the Church of Woo. And if there is woo for me, it's that. Waiki is incredible. So go and look at the videos that I posted, but definitely Waiki is there for me. Way, way, way up high. There you go. Okay, this is from Delta VR. Sad day for rock and roll, but they all went out with a bang. You know what? Exactly. If you go and crank out a career in music and you want to go out in style and you can paint any picture of doing it, I would do it just how Black Sabbath did it. Absolutely. Ozzy wanted to stand, didn't he? Ozzy sitting in that chair, where you just know Ozzy's attitude was like, fuck it, man, let's do it. I don't care. Let's do this. And he did it his way. And just to have that kind of emotion and the thanks and the warmth of the audience and all of that rock and roll royalty all day long, hitting that stage and thanking you for the music all day long. And then to go out there, I got to tell you, Bill Ward slammed, went out there half naked. Bill Ward was incredible. Geezer and Tony were nearly impeccable. It was, a swan song for sure, but they sounded great. They did. It was great. Ozzy, look, to be in that kind of physical shape, and we all know what he's going through, and to go out there and do what he did, man, you're going to go down in a blaze of glory. Do it. I absolutely emotional for me for sure. But man, if you can do that, if you have the opportunity to go out like that, you seize the moment and you do it, and they did, and it was absolutely incredible. It was. Zach's performance with Ozzy was perfect, but there was also this, and we all saw it going on. And I'm just gonna say it. Zach loves Ozzy, and he was standing by his side, and he made sure Ozzy was okay. It was a loving moment to witness. And then when Mama, I'm Coming Home, Zach sang with him and made sure that those notes were right with Ozzy. And that's incredible to see. It was wow. Not only was it emotional, because it was, It had to be that. But musically, it was badass. It was badass. Zach was absolutely incredible. Jakey Lee was incredible. Rudy Sarzo was incredible. How about that drum off with Travis Barker and Chad Smith? That was actually pretty good. Rudy Sarzo, that instrumental version of Symptom of the Universe. And that caught me by surprise, too. I didn't know that was going to happen like that. I was wondering who was going to sing Symptom of the Universe, and then it broke off into this drum off. How about Tool? Oh, man. Oh, it was just so cool. Slayer was amazing. Anthrax was amazing. Metallica was amazing. Guns N' Roses. I got to say, musically, Guns was there. Axl singing those songs, you know what? He sang them. And the influence of Sabbath on everybody, and that includes Axl, is obvious. So you're going to go out and you're going to sing stuff your way. There was some criticism of Ghost. There was some criticism of Sammy Hagar. Look, is Sammy a Black Sabbath vocalist? He did do the theme of the movie Heavy Metal. Don't forget about that. But he went out there and sang it. Good on him. Absolutely. It was cool. Now, Ghost, I thought was okay. A lot of criticism there. I didn't notice when I saw it live, him singing a little flat. I didn't hear it the first time through. I've gone back after reading some of the comments about it. I went back and listened. Yeah, I guess so. But I didn't hear it the first time through. That's the first thing. But the second thing, his stage command was pretty strong. How about Lizzie Hale? She was amazing. Yeah, it was strong. Mastodon. Yeah, it was all good, man. It was solid from top to bottom. I just really enjoyed it. Let's see here. This is from Wayne. Did you see Christina Gomez post today? Yeah, I just talked about this, the 2004 Tic Tac video on the Nimitz and our technology, according to Russ Coulthart. Yes. Okay. Now, Ross is cool. When anything like this happens, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Could it be Lockheed? Absolutely. I've said it from the beginning. It could be our own technology. So, yes. All right. So let's see where this goes. You never know. When will let's see here. This is from Susie. When will you be having Billy Carson back? I would love to hear conversation about your experiences in Peru. Love your show, Jimmy. Great smile. Thank you. Thank you for that. We need to get Billy back on the show. Yeah, for sure. Android, only one question tonight. But it's Android. Yeah, he can do what he wants. Is the government attempting to convince the UFO community? Oh, was this already? Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, Android. I already answered your question. There you go. Okay, let's see. Slayer sounded epic. Eric. Sorry about that, John. Slayer sounded epic on Saturday. Nuno was just shredding. He was the hero for supergroups. Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Slayer sounded great. Yeah. Strong, man. So strong. Same thing with Metallica too, as well. When you have groups like that have been together since the 80s, like that, where they have been playing together for decades, the professional of professionals, you expect them to just sound perfect, and they did. They did. It's just, yeah, they were amazing. Yeah, I'm so with you. Nuno must have been exhausted. Can you imagine Nuno at the end of the night, just like, oh man, whoo, because he held it together. Nuno, one of my favorite guitarists. Watching him play, he's got his own way of doing things, and I've always appreciated that about him. You can hear the influences in Nuno's playing. But I did a show probably 1989 with Extreme in Memphis, and at the Omni New Daisy. And I've got so many fond memories about that show. The band was so cool and so nice, but Nuno was so cool. He wouldn't remember me or anything, but I'm sure that they treated me the same as they treated everybody from city to city to city. Just a wonderful band. But Nuno that night, okay, so this is what Nuno did that flipped me out. I introduced him, introduced the band, and I think I was running monitors and managing the stage. That's what I did there at the Omni New Daisy. But Nuno in sound check wanted this click track through his monitor, and he had a drum machine that was sent to me with this really fast click track. And during sound check, he just wanted to make sure that the click track was coming through his monitor. And he played with it just for a second. He said, perfect level. But I didn't know the purpose of this. So the show's now coming out, and he does this guitar solo to that click track, and only he could hear the click track. This is 1989, man. This is a long time ago. And he was just a kid. And I watched him blaze on that click track. And back then, I still like to think I'm a pretty good guitar player. But back then I was in full shred mode. And I'm standing there 2 feet from him, right there on stage. And I was like, holy crap. This guy's at another level. And Nuno, we played cards that night. We went back to their hotel and we played cards till the wee hours of the morning. And yeah, so I just hung up, and I just remember talking to Nuno. Was so cool, but and sort of becoming friends. But my point being, because of all of that and that experience, he has always been on my radar. I've always checked him out and his playing, and I have great admiration for him. And he was the perfect person to go and do what he did for Back to the Beginning. Yeah. Nuno absolutely held it together. He's an incredible player. So there you go. All right, let's see. Jack the Lad. Are there any two foods you like to mix or eat together that shouldn't taste good, but you like to eat? Oh, man, I love this question. Yeah, I kind of do that all the time. So let me put my mind to this. Okay. So I went out to dinner this weekend with Amy and Romeo, and we went over to the Raven's Nest. And this is what we had for dinner. All right. Normally, you're going to, kind of eat things that go together. We had scallops in mushroom sauce. That's what we started off with. We shared scallops and mushroom sauce. And then we had scallops and mushrooms. And what was hang on. Ceviche. So we had ceviche, scallops and mushroom sauce. And then we follow that up with a pepperoni pizza. None of that goes together. Scallops and ceviche, well, kind of. It's seafood. No, scallops in mushroom sauce. Right. Seared scallops and mushroom sauce. Ceviche being a Panamanian sushi. Totally different taste and totally different things. And then wrap that up with a pepperoni pizza. Yeah, that doesn't go together, but it's fun. Yeah, I do that kind of stuff all the time. I have zero issues with doing that, and I could even go more extreme than that, but I don't want to gross anybody out. Do you think anybody will team up on Resident Alien to fight the Greys? Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm kind of seeing where this is going to play out. Now, in the last episode of Resident Alien, as we know, spoiler alert, he's lost his powers. He's lost his alien powers. And on the last episode, I'm going to pull this up really quick, just so I don't mess this up. The new episode comes out, I think it's on Friday. But I just want to make sure that I'm not messing any of this up. So okay, so anyway, he's lost his powers. But at the end of the last episode, I want to make sure that hasn't been another episode out yet, and that's why I was just looking that up. So Harry has lost his powers. He is now just a human. Spoiler alert. I hope I'm not crushing it for everybody. But at the end of the last episode, they're sitting in JJ's diner, and Harry disappears while sitting eating. Did he get his powers back? Did he get kidnapped? I don't know. So we're going to follow up with that. So who is going to team up here? I don't know. We're kind of expecting that. And yeah, we've got to let a few more episodes unfold here. But Harry lost his powers and then disappeared at the end of the last episode. And that's credit rolled. I mean, he disappeared. Oh, man. Yeah, I love that. I love that series. Angel Watcher, any more haunted house stories? Man, there's so many. Like, what's the update today? I kind of have to just think about that. I've gotten to the point now where I just like ignore stuff. So that's where I'm at, but I'm trying to think of anything cool to share over the last week. And man, I'm erasing my hard drive with this stuff. Things are just so frequent that I just ignore it now. I just ignore it. I haven't had any shoes fall lately or any shoe movement. And that is cool, I guess. But yeah, that kind of stuff hasn't happened. Like the weird poltergeist stuff of things moving around. No, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I was telling this story the other day with some friends in Peru, and they were asking me about the haunted house, and they wanted some haunted house stories. And one of I just can't explain this. I've told it before on the show, but because I just told the story, it's in the front of my mind. But this is a really strange situation. And I know it sounds crazy, but it happened. So I got this keychain, a Harley Davidson keychain, and it was about, change cameras. It had a rubber Harley Davidson logo about this big on the keychain. It was black and orange, and it was really cool. So I decided that I was going to cut the little loop off of the top and then take this and epoxy it to the front of my helmet, or one of my helmets. And that was the plan. And so I put the keychain on my island in the kitchen. I have a tray of stuff on the island, just a tray, and it's full of things, condiments and stuff. And so that's sitting there, and I put it right in front of the tray. And there it sat for a couple of weeks. And I kept walking by going, man, today's the day I'm going to cut that thing off and trim it with an X-Acto knife, and then epoxy this to the helmet. And I picked out the helmet that I was going to do this to. So for like 2 weeks, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm going into the kitchen, I'm making my coffee, and I walk past and I'm looking at the keychain, and it's sitting there. And then after a couple of weeks of this, and I wake up and I come downstairs, I go into the kitchen, going to make coffee, and I walk, and it's gone. And I look at the island, I'm like, where's my keychain? And I'm moving stuff around, and I have a clean house, right? There's nothing on this island but stuff. There's a juicer, there's my tray, there's a stack of mail over here, and in the back is my knife rack of knives. That's it, right? And that frigging Harley Davidson keychain was right there for 2 weeks, and I walk by and it's gone. And I look, and I'm like, did it fall into the trash? Did I bump it? It never showed up. I never found it. And a couple of weeks later, I wake up in the morning and I go down, walk into the kitchen to make my coffee, and there's the keychain sitting right there. And I'm like, no. And I'm looking at it like, what? I swear, man. I'm thinking of the movie Parasite. Do I have somebody living in a room in my house? Is there something going on? Is somebody coming in? Nobody can come in. I have a security system. I have every window and door in my house, both floors, with sensors, broken window sensors, openings. You cannot open anything in my house without the thing going ding dong, right? It's a seal. I have motion detectors. I have cameras, motion sensor cameras, lights on the outside of that. You can't. So that didn't happen. How did that? I don't know. So what do you do with that? Now, I have a couple of choices. I can freak out, I can lose my shit, or I can just strike it up with, okay, I got a friendly ghost that's hanging out and moving. So I don't, and I realize, everybody, listen, I realize it sounds crazy. It sounds made up. It sounds psychotic. It sounds insane. It's all of that. I realize what it sounds like. I do. It happened. It happened. Man, I picked that keychain up. I walked it out into the garage. It's sitting on my workbench next to my Harley, and I've not put it on a helmet. It's just sitting out there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Tim Gallen says, do you listen to Howard Stern? I have since 1999. I started listening to Howard. I haven't listened to Howard in years, a couple of decades. When Howard was on the radio, normal radio, I listened to him every day. And I really enjoyed what he was doing. And then the movie came out. I saw that. I bought the book when that came out, and I was a huge Howard Stern fan. When he quit terrestrial radio and signed with Sirius, that was it. I stopped listening to him because I didn't have Sirius, and that was it. I have no idea. But I was a huge fan back in the day. Huge Howard Stern fan. Yeah, I saw his movie in the theater. Let's see. What is up with the crowd booing Disturbed? Yeah, I heard I didn't hear it during the performance. Maybe I thought I did, maybe. I read about it after. And I think some of the video that has been posted, which I've seen some of the clips, I think that stuff is turned up. I didn't hear it live, but I thought he did great. So, yeah, I heard the stories. I'm not sure if CERN experiments. I'm not sure what was going on with that. So, if you had indisputable evidence of Bigfoot, would you come forward with the evidence? I absolutely would. I've talked about this many, 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 many times. If I had any evidence of anything, I would come out with it live. I would do a press conference. I would, which for me, nothing is more disappointing than when you have certain personalities out there. Not going to name names. You fill in the blanks, but certain personalities that go, I have seen, I have spoken to, we're working on this. We're going to present it. It'll be in our new documentary that we're working on. It's going to come out later. I can't talk about it now. I've got an NDA or whatever. That stuff rubs me the wrong way. And normally when somebody says that, you fill in the blanks, they're full of shit. Yeah. That's it. They're full of shit. And I'll tell you why. If somebody has something that is going to change the future of everything, you're going to bring it out. You're going to do that. Your ego would make you do that. These egos out there with some of these players is so big. And when they go, man, my NDA or this, or yeah, I can't talk about it, or I've seen, I've done that, but I can't. They're full of shit. They're that's it. That's it. That's it. That is my take. And it's so frustrating. If you've got the evidence and you've got a document, you've got a video, you've got this, you've got that, but you would come out with it. And I'll tell you why. You want me to tell you why? That's because 100 years from now, you would have an entire religion built around you. Not a religion, but a religion, a whole thing, a whole movement. You would have a statue in Washington, D.C. You would be the most honored, visible if you changed everything with something like that. That's and what you're going to forego changing the world and having people thank you worldwide forever till the end of time because you signed an NDA, or you can't talk about it, or you got to wait for the book, or it's going to, it's this and that, or there's people that are involved and I can't. Man, you're full of shit. Full of shit. So, yeah, if I had it, I would come out with it. Absolutely. I don't give a crap. The world needs to know. That's my take. I will always defend and put this community first. That's it. That's it. That's it. Let me explain something to everybody. I don't promote myself. I don't have a marketing department. I don't have advertising. I don't look for clicks. I don't look for this. I don't sensationalize. I don't do any of that. I'm here for the community. This show is for the community. This show is for me to learn and for the community to watch me learn so the community can learn along with me. That's it. That's it. It's like public television. That's it. I'm not concerned with any of that. That's it. That's it. Others out there, man, they want to sensationalize. They want those clicks. They want this. They want that. They want, man. My new book. Writing books, most of, and I'm going to say 99%. 99% of the people that write books in this community do it for the love of sharing information. They're not getting rich. When somebody's selling books at a conference and they've taken the time to write the book and self-publish, and they've got books sitting out on the table, those books that they're selling paid for them, hopefully will pay for them to get to that conference so they could eat that weekend. All right. There are others out there that want a New York Times bestseller. They want to go on a book tour. They want this immense thing. That's a whole nother approach to this. The majority of the people that I have on this show that have a book out, they're selling dozens of books, selling 100 a month, maybe 500 books a year. They're not getting rich. They are sharing their information, their experiences, and the research that they've done, and they've self-published a book. And that's not who I'm talking about. It's the other side that just rubs me the wrong way. Yep. Jimmy, what do you think about the 144,000 prophecy? What is that? Hold on. Let's pull this up. What is this? I don't know. Hold on. The 144000 prophecy? Really? I've never heard of this. Let's see. Found in the book of Revelation, chapter 7 and 14 refers to a specific group of people sealed by God who are believed to be instrumental in spreading the gospel during a period of tribulation. While the exact interpretation varies, they are generally understood to be 12,000 individuals from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, set apart for a unique purpose and protected by God during a time of intense hardship. The 144,000 are described as servants of God, specifically 12,000 for each of the 12 tribes. They're sealed by God's on their foreheads, which signifies ownership, protection, and a specific, they are believed to play a crucial role in spreading the gospel. Number 140, I get it. They are not the only ones who will receive salvation or heavenly rewards. In Revelation 7:9, John sees a great multitude, which is interpreted by some as representing all believers who are saved through the testimony of the 144,000. Wow. Okay. Learn something every day. That's why I do this show. I've got the smartest audience out there. Thank you for that. I've never heard of it. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Am I still going to Peru in November? No, I am not going to Peru in November. Another tour group, because of logistics, that was supposed to happen in October. Some things didn't work out with that group, but they worked out for the November tour. So we flipped my tour over. And so, no, I will not be going to Peru in November, but I am going 2 times next year. There you go. That's why I pulled that down. And I haven't mentioned it because there's another group that is going in my place. Hi, Jimmy. This is Craig from Baltimore. Okay, hold on for a second. Can you name all of Ozzy's lead guitarists, starting with Tony Iommi with Sabbath to today? Yeah, Bertie Torme. Okay, so, well, okay. Tony, and then Blizzard of Oz, that was Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads died. Bertie Torme came in for a minute, and then Brad Gillis, and then Jakey Lee, and then Zach Wilde. Oh, there was that's right. There was another guy in there. I don't know if he did an album though, but he played with them. So the guys that recorded with him. Okay, so Tony, Randy, Bernie Torme only played a couple of shows. Then they brought in Brad Gillis. I don't know. So Brad Gillis, then Jakey Lee, and then Zach Wild. There was that kid right after Zach Wild. He was pretty amazing too as well. Yeah, now I'm gonna cheat. Ozzy guitarist. Okay, so let's cheat. Let's cheat. Let's cheat. Let's cheat. Let's get the list up. Okay. Yeah, Gus G. Gus G was pretty good, man. Gus G was pretty good. Okay, I'm looking for a list. Okay, Zach Wild. Let's see. Brad Gillis, yes. Jakey Lee. Joe Holmes. That's who I was thinking of. Oh yeah, I guess he played on Walk on Water. Yeah, Gus G, of course. Let's see. Yeah, oh man, that is a long list of band members. Yeah, holy crap. Anyway, yeah, Gus G and Joe Holmes, those were the two I was thinking of. So yeah, I kind of cheated right there to get to that. Let's see who is up next. Let's look at the clock. Okay. All right. With the Epstein files showing we can't trust the government at all, any chance for any disclosure unless it's catastrophic, like live streaming from the White House lawn, a mothership? Yeah, man. Man. That whole Epstein file thing, I talked about it today or yesterday when I did the news. And to have different statements coming out that are obviously conflicting, and then to have the Justice Department, I don't do politics on the show. I just refuse to do that. But to have the Justice Department come out and say an obvious untruth, right? 2 untruths about Epstein in his jail cell and about the Epstein client list. I don't think there is anybody in this country that's anybody from any side of the fence, anywhere about anything in it where that is going to sit back and go, well, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds truthful. Nobody. Nobody anywhere is buying that. That's nobody. Nobody's buying that. I just couldn't believe it. Cap point for knowledge. What's that? Oh. This is from Kim. I think she's talking about the Tic Tac. Cap point for knowledge, 80,000 feet to 5 feet in 3 seconds. Yeah, that's those are really good points. Talking about the Tic Tac, and one would so knowing the cap point, and if it's aliens, then that's pretty scary, right? How would ET know the cap point for rendezvous for a carrier battle group? That's pretty scary. The second part of that is, well, it's our technology and they knew that. I'll say this again. The ship's logs and the captain, the admiral of that carrier group, those ship logs, and he needs to sit down and give testimony for the Nimitz encounter. Where are the ship's logs? What was there? And that goes through all of the ships and the submarines that were part of that battle group. Everybody there. The admiral, usually it's an admiral. It's not what it was going on. That's it. That needs to happen. Jimmy, currently, if you couldn't live in the United States, which country would you choose? I would choose one of three. I'm looking at 3 countries right now. Would like to buy another home. Peru, high on the list. Spain, high on the list. Cairo, if they chill out over there, is on the list as well. I like Spain, maybe the UK, but something in that part of Europe right there, maybe Portugal, that's halfway. So it's halfway to the Middle East, Egypt and everything else that's going on. And I love to visit there. But then you have access to all of the other historical stuff that's going on all over Europe, Germany. I would like to go to Sweden. I would like to go to Finland. I just watched The Long Way Home with Ewan McGregor. Man, that's Charlie Pullman. Just an amazing, amazing series. All of them about him, riding his bike out there. It's called The Long Way Home. In the new season, they start in the UK and then head up and they go through Finland, Sweden. They come down. They go to Poland. They go to all of the Baltic states and then come back down and back over to England and then up into Scotland. And it's just incredible. I would love to do that. And the ability, getting a house in England or Spain and being able to jump in a car or on my bike and jump onto a ferry and then go to Morocco or come back over, go up into France and just do whatever, is incredible. And you can just drive through, no visas, just drive across borders and just visit country after country, Switzerland, man, and Italy, and just drive Liechtenstein. I just pick a country, right? And just drive. Yeah. So Spain is looking really good to me. Portugal's looking really good. Love Peru. I think Peru's going to happen regardless. It'd be really nice if I can get a small place in Spain and a small place in Peru, because I just like to travel and visit these places so often. It would be really cool. So that's what I'm looking at. I love Cairo, man. Cairo's incredible. If they would just chill out over there, where I could feel a little more comfortable. I a couple of years ago, Cairo was so high on my list, I had no issues with it. And then I was there on October 7th when everything started to kick off over there with Israel, and we all know what's happened since then. And it's not like it's spilled over into Cairo in Egypt. It hasn't, but it's the Middle East in general. It's got to chill out. It's got to chill out. Did you ever interview, this is from Walt, did you ever interview Uri Geller? Yes, I did. Yeah, you can go and look at, I interviewed Uri. When did I do that? A year ago? Year and a half ago? No, wait a minute. Did I do Uri from here, or did I do it from Northern California? I can't remember. Man, that might have been like 4 years ago. It seemed like it was just a year ago, but it might have been 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I interviewed Uri. Nice guy. All right. Have you ever seen any evidence on Aurora? Man, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Yes. Screw it. Yes. Yeah. I saw it fly. Once for sure. At speed. Freaked me out. Loud too. So fast that my eyes couldn't keep up with it. And that's all I'm going to say. Do you believe, let's see, this is Victor. Do you believe the Philadelphia experiment really happened? If so, do you think the powers that be continue the experiment? All right. The Philadelphia experiment, when you jump into that, okay, the story itself is great. The USS Eldridge, Tesla coils moved onto the boat, and yes, and invisibility. There's parts of the story that I think are possible. And that is the idea of making something invisible or stealth to German submarines. All right. That was the idea behind it. There is on old TVs, not on new flat screen TVs, but you had a degaussing coil on the TV, and it ran around the tube. Very powerful electronic degaussing coil to demagnetize the TV so you could watch the tube and watch your TV shows. So the idea behind that, the degaussing coils on a grand scale, powered by Tesla coils, is the story behind the Eldridge. They moved them on the boat. They flipped the switch, and instead of turning invisible, which it did, went back in time. All right. Now, when you look at the evidence and how it was done and what was sent to who at the Pentagon and the notes and the names, I don't know about that part of the story. The science fiction part of it is brilliant. Is it possible that a ship had degaussing stuff put on it to demagnetize it, to make it invisible or impervious to magnetic mines or German U-boats detecting it? Okay, I could see that experiment happening. Time travel and everything else that goes along with it, I don't know. Anything is possible. There's a lot of debunking that is out there that's pretty solid when it comes to the Philadelphia experiment. When the movie came out, when the book came out, and everything else around it, I did the deep dive that everybody else did back then with the Philadelphia experiment. So at the time, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then the other evidence came out later. So, yeah, degaussing to make something, excuse me, non-magnetic. Yeah, I think that those experiments happened for sure. Let's see. Wannabe. Jimmy, are you replacing Nori permanent for Beyond Belief or filling in? Well, that's not it's not for me to say. Appreciate the question, and I'm sure that everybody's wondering the same thing. So I'm just enjoying filming episodes of Beyond Belief. Yeah. Anything else, for me to say one thing or that's way above my pay grade. And those kinds of announcements, those are for other people to determine, including George Norrie. Okay. I've worked with George and have been close friends with George forever. Everybody knows I was on Coast to Coast for 6 years, 7 years, something like that. He invited me to go and do that. And we have a very close relationship. And I so many of us owe so much to George. And I'll just leave that right there, man. My respect for him. It just can't be measured. And he's just amazing. All right. So that's it. Yeah. I mean, the cat is out of the bag. I am hosting Beyond Belief, but so is George. And right now I've been framing it as a guest hosting or sitting in for George. And that's where it is. Okay. And that's it. That's it. And I'm enjoying it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Great question. That just shows you I don't read these questions in advance. Otherwise, I might have avoided that one. Let's see. Why is your face so shiny? Are you wearing face cream or ointment? My daughter's has given me stuff. Is it shiny? Is it shiny? Maybe it's because it's so hot in here. It's hot. These Beyond Belief questions. I don't know. Am I shiny? Yeah, I'm using stuff that my daughter has prescribed to me and giving me instructions. She's like, Dad, we've got to fix your face. You've got to do it. And I've never done any, until she did that this year. I spent 6 years of my life. You know what I did I shaved, washcloth in the shower. That was my regimen. She's like, no, we've got to change that up. So yeah, she's given me a few things. So I've got a scrub that I do, and then I guess it's moisturizer or something else that goes on top of that. But is it shiny? I don't know. I don't look at myself. Seen the highlights from the concert. Seen where Sid finally asked Kelly to marry him. Yeah. I saw that too as well. That was pretty cool. And yeah, Ozzy jumping in. I can marry my daughter. Anything else fall off the walls? Not lately. Earthquakes in Titicaca. Is that right? Well, we're at the end of the show. Let me squeeze in some more questions. Yeah, let's go long. Let's see. Do you think disclosure has already happened? No, it has not. Disclosure has not happened, people. For so many, there is just a handful of people where they can say, disclosure's already happened. But for everybody else, you know what disclosure is? It's one thing. That's the president in the Oval Office going, we are not alone in the universe. The emergency broadcast system. That's disclosure. Anything else is not disclosure. It's not. Burleson, Congress, hearings, chatter, Marco Rubio being stopped in an airport by TMZ talking about aliens. Is that disclosure? That's not disclosure. No, it's not. I've seen crazy stuff. I've seen UFOs, things that I believe are not from this earth. It's not disclosure, though. I don't know what I saw. I didn't communicate with them. I don't know where they came from or who they were, or I don't know. Okay, so no, disclosure has not happened, not even close. Now, is something on the horizon? I feel it. I think that we all do. But until we have that announcement on live TV, disclosure has not happened. And that's it. That's it. Anybody can try to argue with me on that, but you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Until, does Leonard Skinner, Don't Ask Me No Questions, make it to your top 10 list from that band? Yeah, it's pretty good. Give Me Back My Bullets. That's pretty good. That Smell. Yeah. There's a lot. The main stuff from Leonard Skinner, yes. But you know what? It's all that side stuff. Yeah, man. Give Me Back My Bullets. Can't top that. That Smell. You can't. No. You're right. You're right. Don't Ask Me No Questions is up there. Yeah. For any of us Fadernauts considering going to the Psionic Conference in August, why would you suggest going other than to see your MC outfit? What, going to the Psychic Olympics, right? The PSI Games, and seeing everything in competition form, whether it's remote viewing or telekinesis, wearing the eye mask and reading, man. And if something crazy and wonderful happens, you kind of want to be there, and to see everybody bring their best in that type of environment. This is a one of a kind original conference. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It is my belief they communicate through telekinesis, then can more than likely read your mind. Yeah. That's one of the scary things when it comes to that, right? Telepathy and entanglement of minds and so forth. That, man, you've got no secrets. You've got no secrets. There's, okay, HH. Hey, Jimmy, yesterday I made the difficult decision, but as we began this last trip to his vet, my 20-year-old cat, Axel, passed away in my arms. What do you think happens to pets when they pass? That is, my thoughts are with you. Pets are, when, I don't even like talking about this. So whenever somebody brings this subject up like that, we've all got our experiences, and I don't like talking about it because I go back to the moments where I had to go through that with my pets, several of them. And man, that is rough. It's rough. Yeah. So look, whatever you think, I think is fine. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see. I've got a youthful glow, Jimmy. Olivia, you're the absolute very best. Olivia has been with us since the very beginning. She is a joy. HH, man. Yeah, that's tough. Anything new with the model cars? Man, I've got so many model cars. I've got a lot of model cars. Okay, so that's it. I got to the end, everybody. Another amazing AMA, hanging out with all of you. Just thank you guys so much. I do want to remind everybody that tomorrow night, Mike Ricksecker is here. We're going to be talking about his new book and portals and Atlantis, all of that and much more tomorrow night with Mike Ricksecker. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. And until tomorrow night, all I've got is go back, Lee Tappy. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Special thanks to Bill, John, Dex, Jessica, Dennis, and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boy. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Go back, Lee Tappy.